this man. So first of all, where do we begin on that? The idea that any company that is for profit would absorb added costs that are being forced upon them by the government is ridiculous. It is not in line with reality. And for the governor to say, well, I guess we'll have to go back in the legislature and find ways to further regulate the oil and gas companies to make sure that they're not price gouging people. You're the ones that are forcing them with your policies to incur hundreds of millions of dollars in additional costs. And then you want to go back and further regulate private enterprise to have them further be forced to absorb additional costs because you call it price gouging. It's insane. There's no other industry that would absorb a cost and not socialize it out to other people. They're doing what everyone else would do. And I know you think it's politically popular for your base to say, oh, the big bad oil and gas companies. You can say that, doesn't change the reality at the pump for the consumer. And shame on you for continuing to not acknowledge the real hurt and strain that this is putting on Washington families, not only at the gas pump, but when they go to the grocery store and everything that needs to be trucked in that they buy. It's really kind of sick, sad stuff that he won't just own it and say, I mean, he said at the end there, we're not going to go back on, punishing polluters, which he's talking about us. He's talking about those of us who need a car to get somewhere. And so he wants to punish us. And that's exactly what he's doing, is he's punishing us at the gas pump. And then he says, well, maybe we could help the oil and gas companies a little bit by making our marketplace for these carbon credits, combining it with California, combining it with Quebec. California and Quebec don't want to combine it with us because they are capping, the cost of those credits in those places is lower. That's a fact. And so Governor Jay Inslee is basically saying, well, we can lower ours a little bit and increase theirs a little bit if we combine it all together. It's ridiculous. Just own it. Own the policy. And look, for me, if we had readily available, inexpensive, readily available, reliable alternatives to fossil fuels and to gasoline, if it was cheap and reasonable to buy an electric vehicle, if people could use electric vehicles to go long distances without having to recharge, etc., if the technology was there, I think we'd be having a different conversation. But you also look at public transportation, for instance. In our region, it's in shambles. You don't make it easy. You don't make it safe. You can't ride a bus or light rail in Seattle without seeing somebody shoot up or having a mental health emergency. And then you want to make it damn near impossible for working class people in this state to afford to put gas in their car to get from point A to point B. And then you want to go on the local news and you want to continue to gaslight over it. Just own it, Governor. Own it. What do you have to lose? You're leaving office anyway. And you've staked your whole reputation on being the climate governor. So just say, this is what we have to do to save the world, and screw you people who drive a car because you're ruining this beautiful planet of ours. Absolutely insane. So when you go to the gas pump this weekend, what did I do, Nicole? We were in Ellensburg, gassing up on our drive back from Eastern Washington. I don't know what came over me, but I'm getting back in the car and I shouted out, $75. Thanks, Jay Inslee.
I kind of wish that I had a camera going at the time because the guy a couple pumps away was like, huh?
He's like, so this, you know what we should do? They did the shout your abortion. Let's do shout your gas prices.
Oh, I like it.
Let's do, don't use a phone outside the pump because that's like dangerous, but have somebody inside the vehicle tape you shouting your gas prices and then yelling, thanks, Jay Inslee. And then what we'll do is we'll put all those videos together in a montage and then we'll play it like on Monday's show.
Yes.
Please do that.
Send a
video shouting your gas price as loud as you can at the pump. Oh my God, this is gonna be great.